March 20th, 2026. A-10 Thunderbolt II aircraft, built to shred Soviet armor, are now hunting Iranian fast attack boats across a 21-mile strait that carries 20% of the world's crude oil. The coalition claims more than 120 vessels were destroyed. But when forensic analysts pulled the metadata on the combat footage, some of it was not even from this war. What the verified evidence reveals is a far more complex operation. The Strait of Hormuz narrows to just 21 miles at its tightest point, a corridor where the Persian Gulf's energy lifeline is most exposed. On March 20th, 2026, this waterway became the center of a new kind of military contest. Iranian fast attack boats, many equipped for mine laying or armed with anti-ship rockets, maneuvered in swarms, some disguised as fishing vessels, others configured for rapid strikes or area denial. Each vessel represented not just a tactical threat, but a direct risk to the uninterrupted flow of nearly a fifth of the world's crude oil. Commercial tankers flagged from Liberia to Panama faced sudden AIS blackouts and erratic course changes as they transited this narrow channel, underscoring how quickly the situation could escalate from harassment to blockade. Conventional naval patrols struggled to counter the sheer number and agility of these small craft. The need for persistent, precision firepower, capable of identifying and neutralizing multiple targets in a confined battle space, demanded a platform with both endurance and punch. The A-10 Thunderbolt II, originally engineered for close air support over land, was reassigned to shield maritime traffic. Its low-speed handling, heavy armor, and the devastating GAU-8 Avenger 30mm cannon offered a unique answer to the swarm and mine-laying threat. Operating over a maritime choke point, the A-10 community found itself in a role that required both tactical flexibility and relentless presence, bridging the gap between traditional air power and the urgent demands of maritime interdiction. The heart of the A-10's maritime punch lies in the GAU-8 Avenger, a 7-barrel, 30 by 100, 73mm Gatling cannon engineered for maximum kinetic impact. The gun mechanism is electrically driven and cycles at up to 3,900 rounds per minute, though operational doctrine favors short, controlled bursts to manage heat and conserve ammunition. Each depleted uranium armor-piercing round weighs nearly 400 grams and leaves the muzzle at over 1,000 meters per second, delivering roughly 200 kilojoules of energy per shot. Live fire tests against representative hull materials, 12mm marine-grade aluminum, laminated plywood, and composite panels demonstrate the cannon's destructive efficiency. In controlled range trials, a single burst from the GAU-8 reliably perforates 12mm aluminum plate, with penetration depths exceeding 220 millimeters. The residual velocity after impact is sufficient to fragment internal bulkheads and ignite fuel or munitions stored within fast attack craft. Against plywood or composite hulls, the effect is even more pronounced, with exit velocities above 750 meters per second and internal spall clouds capable of disabling a vessel's crew and electronics in a matter of seconds. This kinetic overmatch is the rationale for deploying the A-10 against swarming boats and mine layers in a confined waterway. The cannon's dispersion pattern enables engagement of small, fast-moving targets while minimizing collateral risk to commercial shipping. Yet the use of depleted uranium raises operational considerations. Field studies confirm aerosolized depleted uranium can contaminate local water and soil, prompting mandatory post-strike remediation and health monitoring for exposed personnel. While the GAU-8's lethality is undisputed, planners must weigh its environmental footprint against mission requirements, especially in a region where every engagement leaves a lasting mark. Footage from the March 20th operation flooded social media and news outlets within hours, each clip claiming to capture the moment A-10s struck Iranian fast attack boats in the strait. Open source intelligence analysts moved quickly, dissecting metadata, geolocation markers, and vessel registries to separate verifiable evidence from digital noise. The most widely shared video, showing a low-flying jet firing over water near the Khalij Fars oil platform, was traced to a civilian smartphone. Shoreline features and lighting confirmed the location, but frame-by-frame analysis revealed the aircraft's silhouette matched a Yak-130 trainer, not an A-10. Audio overlays and digital artifacts suggested post-production tampering, a pattern repeated in other viral clips, including one artificial intelligence-generated sequence of an F-35 shootdown, which was debunked through reverse image search and pixel anomaly detection. Claims of mass vessel losses, 120 boats neutralized, circulated in coalition briefings and media headlines. Vessel loss registries such as Lloyd's List Intelligence and IHS Markit Seaweb, however, recorded only a handful of confirmed hits. 8 vessels with high-confidence corroboration from satellite synthetic aperture radar and automatic identification system data, 12 more with moderate evidence, and a larger pool of partially disabled or unverified cases. The overwhelming majority of the 120 claim originated from press releases and propaganda, lacking independent confirmation. No open-source registry supports a single-day loss tally approaching the official claim. Battle damage assessments from the region show a clear gap between operational hype and verifiable outcomes. While the A-10's cannon proved effective against small craft, shredding hulls and disabling engines in confirmed cases, the scale of destruction often cited in public statements remains unsupported by forensic review. The information war around Hormuz now runs in parallel with the kinetic fight, as both sides seek to shape perceptions with selective footage and inflated numbers. For analysts and commanders alike, only A-grade and B-grade incidents, those with multiple independent confirmations, stand as reliable evidence of battlefield results. The A-10's arsenal extends far beyond its iconic 30mm cannon. On maritime sorties, each aircraft typically carries a layered set of precision-guided munitions. AGM-65 Maverick missiles for standoff strikes against larger mine layers. GBU-39 small-diameter bombs for pinpoint attacks, and laser-guided APKWS rockets to counter swarming boats or surface drones at close range. For self-defense, AIM-120 MRAM and AIM-9X. Sidewinder missiles are mounted under wing, giving the Warthog the ability to engage aerial threats or intercept incoming drones. The Mavericks imaging infrared seeker allows engagement from up to 22 kilometers, enabling pilots to neutralize high-value targets before closing to cannon range. GBU-39 bombs, with their 70-kilometer reach and accuracy under 5 meters, have proven effective in denying Iranian forces the use of concealed coastal launch sites. Survivability remains central to every A-10 mission. The cockpit is protected by a titanium bathtub capable of absorbing hits from 23mm anti-aircraft rounds and heavy machine gun fire. Redundant flight controls and self-sealing fuel tanks allow the aircraft to return from sorties that would cripple other platforms. During a parallel operation on March 20th, 2 A-10s supporting Iraqi security forces in Al-Anbar absorbed multiple small arms impacts, yet completed their mission. An Iraqi security forces communications officer later reported that United States A-10s provided decisive firepower that broke the enemy's momentum on the highway corridor. Whether flying over desert highways or the confined waters of Hormuz, the A-10's multi-theater reach and layered weapons loadout enable it to adapt quickly, supporting coalition objectives across shifting fronts. Its resilience and versatility are force multipliers, proving indispensable in both land and maritime campaigns. Roughly 1/5 of the world's seaborne crude oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, making these 21 miles of water the most critical energy corridor on the planet. Every day, Supertankers loaded with Saudi, Iraqi, Kuwaiti, and Emirati oil thread through this narrow passage, their cargoes bound for markets in Asia, Europe, and North America. A single disruption, whether from mines, missile strikes, or swarming fast attack boats, can send shockwaves across global energy prices and threaten the stability of entire economies. Maritime law recognizes the strait as an international transit passage, obligating all states to allow free and unimpeded navigation for commercial shipping. This legal framework, rooted in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, gives the world's trading nations a direct stake in the security of Hormuz. Insurance premiums for tankers spike with every credible threat, and even the rumor of a blockade can trigger futures market volatility measured in billions of dollars. For oil-dependent economies, the leverage held by those who control the strait is enormous. Securing this artery demands not just military presence, but persistent and credible deterrence that reassures shipowners and trading houses that their vessels will reach open water unmolested. In this environment, tactical interdiction becomes a pillar of macroeconomic stability, linking the actions of a single sortie to the balance sheets of nations. Coalition planners reacted quickly after the March 20th strikes. The 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit, 2,500 Marines strong, moved aboard the USS Kidd toward the Gulf of Oman, set to arrive within 72 hours. Their presence brought vertical lift, amphibious assault teams, and AV-8B Harrier strike aircraft, signaling a readiness to escalate beyond air patrols. 6 MQ-9 Reaper drones, launched from Qatar and the United Arab Emirates, established overlapping surveillance grids. These drones tracked Iranian fast attack craft and mine layers around the clock, relaying targeting data to both A-10 pilots and Marine Expeditionary Unit command staff. With synthetic aperture radar and electro-optical sensors, the MQ-9s closed intelligence gaps, shrinking Iran's window for coordinated attacks or covert mine deployment. Overhead, F-35B Lightning II jets from the USS Abraham Lincoln provided a high-altitude shield, linking their sensors with the Reaper network. This layered defense made any Iranian missile or drone retaliation riskier, as activating coastal surface-to-air missile batteries or launchers would trigger immediate countermeasures. Coalition air planners synchronized these assets to keep up constant pressure, compressing the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps decision cycle and raising the cost of every move. Iranian commanders shifted tactics, increasing fast boat density, masking movements at night, and using decoy vessels to saturate coalition sensors. Area denial efforts focused on new mine layers and repositioned surface-to-air missile batteries. Cyber and information operations ramped up, aiming to muddy the picture and test coalition resolve. Each step risked a wider confrontation, with both sides weighing deterrence against escalation. Even now, the Strait of Hormuz remains a flashpoint, where 20% of global oil supply meets evolving threats and information warfare. The A-10's adaptability and the GAU-8 cannon's firepower shift the calculus, but every sortie tests both strategy and resolve. In this corridor, deterrence is measured in seconds, not headlines.